don't do this very long, because there's a price that you pay that is not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. And that price is depression, deep depression, a severe brain imbalance that's going to lead you to addiction. It leads so many people to impulsive behavior.
Of anything of that sort. That's a federal crime. And trust me, people would love to see Jake Paul end up in jail.
Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. And he was moving as such. He was staying away from him. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. I mean, he was fighting.
After suffering a broken jaw against Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul may be forced to retire from boxing. Joe Rogan reacted to the fight by emphasizing that Jake has already achieved a great deal in his career and earned significant money, Rogan warned. That continuing to compete at this level is extremely dangerous and could result in permanent physical damage or long-term mental health struggles, including depression. He stressed that the risk is no longer worth it and suggested Jake should step away from the ring to protect his overall well-being. Rogan's perspective highlights the serious consequences of pushing beyond safe limits in combat sports after absorbing a devastating right hand.
He did.
Didn't have any effect.
Yeah.
Because he's, really, he weighed 216, but he's doesn't even have abs, right, at 216. He could easily weigh 190.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could make 190.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic.
So big.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
Because he's a giant.
Yeah.
He's a fucking giant man.
So big, dude.
He's so big.
I give Jake so much credit for stepping into that ring.
Bro, he got hit with a bomb, a right-hand bomb.
When he got hit with that too, I don't know if enough has been made of the fact that, it was absolutely devastating. But the fact that he had awareness immediately to go like he looked at the crowd like, oh shit, like wow.
It wasn't cracked.
Yeah.
I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen, and ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it, and that he could do well for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then eventually just deal with the fact that Anthony Joshua is going to connect with a bomb.
Yeah.
And breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Yeah.
And he's fucked. His jaw's wired shut now. He lost teeth.
See, he made it to the 6th round.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Did they put your teeth back in when they pop out like that, or are they gone forever?
I don't know. But it's just wired shut for 6 weeks now.
Yeah, you gotta eat.
Chael Sonnen strongly criticized Jake Paul's recent fight, arguing that matchups like this are far too dangerous and should not be allowed. He explained that the bout felt less like a traditional boxing contest and more like a struggle for survival. Throughout the fight, Jake was constantly on the move, carefully avoiding serious damage whenever possible. There were moments when he had to step forward and engage, but he quickly retreated to protect himself. At times, he even dropped to his knees or relied on grappling positions simply to stay safe and prevent serious injury. Sonnen emphasized that Jake's performance became a test of endurance and resilience, comparing his efforts to an animal, trapped in a cage, doing everything possible to survive under relentless pressure.
These guys fought. That was not a boxing match. It just wasn't. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there, and he was moving as such. He was staying away from him. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. He was fighting. Then it turns to where he can't stay away anymore. So now he's got to go the other way. He's got to go forward. So now he's clinched him. Now he's dropping down to his knees. He's going below the waist. He's getting to double leg positions. He was fighting. These guys were fighting. Jake was fighting for his survival, and you could so see it. You could see this animal who's been caged and is just trying to make it through, not even kill its prey, just make it through. And it was incredible. It was really incredible. So on the back end, some of the comments that I made or that I had heard were so confusing to me.
Despite acknowledging Jake's determination and ability to withstand pressure, Sonnen warned that fights of this nature carry severe physical and mental risks. He stressed that these dangers could lead to lasting consequences of such matchups. continue. While Jake's courage and persistence in the ring were clear, Sonnen emphasized that a fighter's safety and long-term well-being must come first. Forcing athletes into such hazardous situations, he argued, is irresponsible and increases the likelihood of serious harm for everyone involved in boxing.
Tell you, it breaks my heart too that Anthony Joshua can't get him out of there in one round. Dave Portnoy had made a comment before the fight. He said, I like Jake. I wish well for Jake. Of course I'm taking Joshua. And then Portnoy made his point. And he said, because I believe in boxing. This isn't if I'm cheering for Jake or if I think that Joshua is more experienced or better. I believe in boxing. I believe boxing's real. If boxing is an actual sport, if it is an actual sweet science, then of course a guy that's done it 11 times cannot compete with the Olympic.
Nikisa Badarian, co-founder of MVP, spoke highly of Jake Paul's courage and resilience following his intense matchup with Anthony Joshua. He highlighted the remarkable heart Jake displayed, noting that even after being knocked down multiple times and suffering a broken jaw in 2 places, he continued to fight with determination. Badarian emphasized that Jake's performance was not solely about survival. According to in-house scoring, Jake even won the 4th round, demonstrating visible progression, improved composure, and continued skill development as a boxer. He also stressed that there were no prior agreements or contracts with Joshua that could have influenced the outcome, making it clear that any attempt to manipulate the fight would be both illegal and unethical. Addressing criticism from sections of the public and boxing community, Badarian stated that Jake's showing reflected an unwavering willingness to absorb punishment from one of the sport's elite athletes. Jake's ability to face a world-class opponent head-on, he said, demonstrated genuine bravery, discipline, and commitment to the sport. Badarian further hinted at Jake's future ambitions, suggesting he remains motivated to avenge his loss to Tommy Fury and continue proving himself. Overall, his comments underline Jake's readiness to face top-tier competition, endure physical and mental challenges, and establish himself as a serious presence in professional boxing.
It was a moral victory because he expected to win. I do think he showed who he is as a fighter. I think he deployed the strategy that he was very clear about going into, that he was going to look to make AJ miss, and AJ missed a number of times. And ultimately, I think the weight of AJ caught up to Jake Paul. If you look at the first 3 rounds, AJ wasn't really able to touch him. But when AJ was in a clinch with him a couple of times, pushed down on the back of his neck, pushed down on the back of his head, got him to the ground. There was a few times where Jake looked like he was going for a takedown. Again, that was Jake trying to engage in the clinch, and AJ smartly moved back. In one instance, I think it was the 5th round, Jake engaged for a clinch, AJ moved back and started punching down on Jake's back. So all of those things kind of deteriorated or emptied Jake's gas tank a lot earlier than I think he expected it to. But overall, I thought he deployed his game plan well for the first 5 rounds and actually had some success. He even moved AJ back a few times, 1 by just jabbing in the air, and 2, when he caught him, he moved AJ back. AJ came right back in and swung.
Frank Warren praised Jake Paul for showing tremendous courage in his fight against Anthony Joshua, emphasizing that stepping into the ring for such a high-stakes bout requires exceptional bravery and confidence. He noted that Jake, a cruiserweight with only 12 professional fights, faced an enormous challenge by taking on a top 10 ranked heavyweight like Joshua, who remains one of the best fighters in the world. Despite the clear mismatch, Jake managed to land several effective shots, including sharp jabs and a near uppercut, and even appeared to win the 4th round in Warren's opinion. Warren acknowledged that while some critics may overanalyze the contest, the reality was obvious. It was a massive ask, and Jake rose to the challenge. He stressed that the bout delivered exactly what it promised: excitement, spectacle, and a platform for Jake to demonstrate resilience, courage, and determination against truly elite competition on a global stage.
Paul, somewhat anticlimactic. I mean, look, the KO was fantastic, but going 6 rounds, what did you make of it?
Just took longer than he took longer than he needed done. I mean, Jake showed a lot of courage. But the money they're getting, that's what you do. You got to show courage when you're getting paid that type of money, and he did. He was obviously, it was a massive ask of him, a cruiserweight who's only had 12 fights, and against sort of, not the greatest opposition, to be stepping up and fighting somebody of AJ's ilk, who's still a top 10 ranked heavyweight in the world, and he did, in my opinion, he caught him a couple of jabs, nearly caught him a good uppercut, and I thought the fourth round, I thought he nicked it. So what do I think of it? I thought, AJ got a few quid, good luck to him, God bless him, and whatever, but come on, that's not all. No one's running away with it, are they? We all know what it was. We're not, we're not stupid. We all know you got eyeballs, and all these moaners are moaning. What did you go and buy it for? What was you expecting to see? It was what it was. It billed for what it was, and that was it. I mean, I didn't stay up to see it. I just put it on when I got up in the morning and watched it back on Netflix, and that's it. And I don't agree with all this stuff about it besmirches boxing. Whether it's not boxing, it wasn't sanctioned by any, as far as I understand, any of the governing bodies. It went on in Florida, and a bit like Texas, they let things go on that won't get on elsewhere.
On Jake Paul's performance as a whole, Eddie's come off the back of it and said, look, he's not a world beater. I thought he was an average cruiserweight. I'd say now he's probably a decent cruiserweight. Did you change your thoughts on his level at all?
No, because look, he's a professional boxer. He trains as a...
Timothy Bradley criticized Jake Paul's approach in his fight, arguing that running away was the worst possible tactic against a dominant opponent. Bradley emphasized that when facing a bully in the ring, a fighter must stand their ground early to send a clear message and earn respect. He suggested that Jake's failure to assert himself from the opening moments prevented him from gaining that respect, ultimately affecting his overall performance. Bradley also noted that many boxing analysts had predicted this reaction, expecting Jake to avoid confrontation rather than fight decisively. He implied that if he had been in Jake's corner, he would have urged him to embrace the challenge, reminding him of the massive payday at stake and encouraging him to display courage and authority in the ring. According to Bradley, standing firm from the start is essential to any fighter's credibility, confidence, and long-term standing in the sport.
It wasn't really a fight, to be honest with you. It was not a fight, because Jake ran like a bitch. I said bitch, I didn't say real one. So, but I'm just saying he ran. And I knew, and I was talking to different boxing pundits, around, and they were asking me, Tim, what would you do if you was in the same situation as Jake Paul? And this is before the fight. I talked to a lot of people outside, and I told them, I said, see, they gonna run, and that's the worst thing that they can do. When you facing a guy, bully, you got to stand up to the bully. You got to send a message early on. We talk about fighting for, dominance or, getting respect. See, that was the issue. Jake didn't get respect early on. If I was in his corner, I would have said, hey, man, look, we here. You getting paid $94 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, we here to fight, bruh. We not here to survive. We here to fight. But you got to go out here and you got to hit this man as hard as you possibly can in the first round. You got to step to him. You got to, almost like kamikaze style. You got to attack him, because if you put AJ on his back foot and you keep him defensive, AJ is not a great fighter off his back foot as he is when he's coming forward. And AJ is the type of guy that feeds off of guys that, respect him, one, or fear him. And AJ felt, because of the experience that he has, he felt like this dude fears me.
Brendan Schaub criticized the way Jake Paul's fight against Anthony Joshua was marketed, arguing that the hype was misleading and unrealistic. He said framing the matchup as a question of whether Jake could actually beat Joshua was absurd, as there was never a genuine chance of an upset. Schaub highlighted the massive gap in size, experience, and skill between the two fighters. He explained that while some fans pointed to a so-called puncher's chance, that idea is highly unrealistic in a professional bout against an elite heavyweight. Even if Jake hits hard for his weight class, Schaub noted it does not compare to the power, durability, and technical ability of top-level heavyweights. He suggested a more honest marketing approach would have focused on whether Jake could survive, endure the rounds, and avoid being knocked out. By setting realistic expectations, Schaub argued fans would have better appreciated Jake's effort without being misled by impossible narratives.